that's
Eva oh Sankyato Brahmanaha Sagunasya Ha Sanivesho Maya Proktaha Jaha Kalaha Panchavinshakaha Etavane Ramanaksa Gunasya Sanivesho Maya Prokto Yakala Panchavinshakaha Etavane Sankyato Ramanaksa Gunasya Sanivesho Maya Prokto Yakala Panchavinshakaha Ekavaneva Sankyato Ramanaksa Gunasya Sanivesho Maya Prokto Yakala Panchavinshakaha Etavane Vasankyato Sanivesho Maya Prokto Sankyato Ramanaksa Sanivesho Maya Prokto Yakala Panchavinshakaha Ekavane Vasankyato Ramanaksa Gunasya Ladies, Etavam, so much. Eva, just. Sankyataha, enumerated. Brahmanaha, of Brahman. Sagunasya, with material qualities. Indeed. Saniveshaha, arrangement. Maya, by me. Proktaha, spoken. Yaha, which. Kalaha, time. Panchavinshakaha, the 25th. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. All these are considered the qualified Brahman. The mixing element, which is known as time, is counted as the 25th element. Prabhupada Maharaj. Translation, therefore, according to the Vedic version, there is no existence beyond Brahman. Sarvam kavam idam Brahma Chandogya Upanishad 3.14.1. It is stated also in the Vishnu Purana that whatever we see is Parasya Brahmanat Shakti. Everything is an expansion of the energy of the supreme absolute truth, Brahman. When Brahman is mixed with the three qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance, there results the material expansion, which is sometimes called Saguna Brahman, and which consists of these 25 elements. In the Nirguna Brahman, where there is no material contamination, or in the spiritual world, the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are not present. Where Nirguna Brahman is found, simple unalloyed goodness prevails. Saguna Brahman is described by the Sankhya system of philosophy as consisting of 25 elements, including the time factor, past, present, and future. Hare Krishna. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshunalatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Vayam Rupagada Mayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Chapatinam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasati Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So this section of Srimad Bhagavatam has been dealing with the various elements of this creation, the various objects of perception, the senses themselves working and knowledge acquiring, mind, intelligence, intellect, and various other aspects of the material energy, and including here the 25th element, time, which is orchestrating the, say, past, present, and future of this phenomenal world. Saguna manifestation is mentioned here with qualities. Nirguna, no qualities. So, of course, this is not referring here to the Vaishnav's understanding of man. The man has no material qualities, but possesses transcendental qualities. And the material world, interesting, to say, subject matter indeed, but the where from the three modes of nature are coming. If Nirguna, the man has no qualities, therefore where have apparent qualities come from, which transformed in Nirguna Brahman into Saguna Brahman. It infers as some other influence to create a change in the non-dual or pervasive Brahman, which has no qualities other than its own existence. Generally, for change to take place, we understand that it has to be evoked by some other influence other than itself. Whether changes because of the some other body of air or whatever it influences the present one, and the situation changes. So even our own devotional service is not possible to awaken in of itself on our own. It's evoked by our will, you can say also, but it's evoked by the influence from another source. It's already there, but it's evoked, it's awoken by the association, other association. So that's the argument, at least the basic argument, the preliminary basic argument for justifying or that Brahman also has qualities. It's like if you look into the mirror, you expect to see a reflection. So the material world may be seen as a reflection of the spiritual world in one sense. If it were directly a reflection, then it would just be, nothing would be there. There would not even be a shadow. If there's no object, there's no shadow. There's nothing. It's just nothing. There is no question of reflection of nothing. reflection of the sun. You can see a reflection of the sun on objects, not otherwise. So there was no variation of the elements in this material world. There will be no sign of reflection or shadow. There has to be something there in order to create darkness. Something is there to create darkness. In the case of the Earth planet, of course, they say, that's the Vedic version is another thing, but they say that the Earth is orbiting, so when the Earth is a round ball, when it orbits on the backside, there's no apparent sunlight. It's blocked out by the back of the Earth, the backside of the Earth. Logically speaking, you can kind of understand that logical sense that the Earth is moving around and sometimes facing the sun and sometimes not. Nighttime is the part which we're on is not facing the sun. It's dark, no sunlight. But if there was no Earth, there would be no darkness. Just be light. Although, of course, the sun itself, the Brahmajyoti that's supposed to be, there's no apparent source of the light. It just is light. There's no actual, other than itself, it exists like that. But somehow or another, that light has created darkness. There's no object to create darkness, so it's difficult to ascertain how that works. It's inconceivable. Well, it is inconceivable because it is inconceivable, because that's not what the or at least the Vaishnava understanding is, that there is variety in the Parabrahman, but the transcendental influence of Parabrahman and its various energy has unlimited Prasya Shakti Vinaya Shruti, unlimited energies, not just one, but unlimited. Brahman, everything is, because there's truth there also. It's partial truth. Everything is Brahman. Brahman in that sense means everything is eternal, everything is spiritual. Everything that exists is spiritual. We were reading yesterday from the Dhammavat or Damodar, not in public, how even when Krishna was bound up, what is today? They call this day when the brothers, what's it called? Yeah. Anyway, different names in different parts of India they give you. You know what it is. When the sisters who invite the brothers, is that what it is? And then he ties something on them or something. Pardon? They're what? Oh, they're great. That's another festival. Fun direction. It's a different time of the year. Okay, so anyway, whatever it is, we'll go back to what it's saying. It's not quite the same thing, but it's the principle is there. That everything is alive. Everything is alive. And when Krishna was bound up to the mortar, Mother Yasoda's love, he was playing around, no doubt, but the rope which was binding him was fully conscious, and the mortar was fully conscious. They were having conversations, discussing what to do next. And Krishna was playing with the mortar, playing with the ropes, various ways. He was having fun with the conscious mortar and the conscious ropes. They weren't just dead rope, big solid mortar. They were fully alive. Now, what made them alive, realistic point of view, was their contact with Krishna. You can probably look at it from another angle, but that's the real angle. Their contact with Krishna brought the real life to apparently a lifeless object, a mundane object in this world, which seems to have been created and destroyed at a certain point in time. But in this particular incident, they were fully alive. They were Brahman, spirit. course, in one sense, Maharaj will say everything is spirit, even this mature is covered spirit, which is, in one sense, true, but not understanding what is being covered fully and what is covering it. Covering from a Vaishnava point of view is forgetfulness of Krishna. It's not a question of, some God knows what influence which causes a certain portion of Brahman to be apparently manifesting form with qualities and the modes of nature and all the elements therein manifesting, and some conscious living being covered and influenced by these, wherever they came from, various energies to behave in such and such a way, to become entangled in such and such a way, and to assume a form such and such a way, according to karma, whatever that is, from the man point of view. Some interaction is something that doesn't exist by some, it doesn't make sense. Sun in of itself cannot create a shadow, reflection. I think that the microphone has stopped working. Pardon? Oh, it's a cordless mic answers the question. And as we see, maybe this needs a push of switch. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Still not working. Hare Krishna. Brahman has stopped working. Brahman is no longer working. Turn it off. Magic. The Brahman microphone is now working. Anyway, it's all the same, whether it works or doesn't work. It doesn't make any difference. And so, whether Mayavada or Vaishnava, you could say, the connection or the awakening of spiritual awareness, when it's no longer affected by time, when it's no longer affected by the material elements, although when we appear to be under the influence of material energy. Mayavadi, and simply the philosophy alone is not enough. One time, Janananda Swami was being somewhere in Punjab, I think, somewhere. Mayavadi was challenging. The weather was very, very cold. Just like this morning, quite cold. And so Mayavadi said, everything's one. So Janananda said, so give me your blanket. I'll give you this little tiny piece of cotton. It's all one. You can keep yourself warm with this piece of cotton. Mayavadi was taken aback. He wasn't really, maybe belief is sentiment that everything is one, but wasn't on the platform of realization. But most people are not actually. Realization is just a good philosophy in order to become irresponsible and not have to surrender and not have to admit that we are servants, etc. Good philosophy. Another time I remember when it's just coming, I can't remember. But I was in London, the very place down, Janananda Swami was there preaching to one pseudo Mayavadi hippie. He was trying to say, no, everything's one, it's all one, we're all God. They used to sing songs, the Beatles, I am you and you are me and we are all together. Like that popular philosophy of sentiment amongst the young people. And anyway, he was preaching to this. He was quite adamant about his philosophy. He said, Janananda, he said, do you have a house? I said, yes. Do you have a car or anything like that? I said, yeah. He said, do you have keys for the car and the house? He said, yeah. Said, give them to me. It makes no difference if I have them or you have them. You give them to me. The boy gave them to him. But later on he realized, wait a minute. And he had to come back and ask for them, please give me them back. Well, I thought you said it's all one, so what difference did it make? You got them or I've got them, or I've got the car and you've got the car. It's all one. It's not all one. It's living entity. Think like that. How long can you remain in that kind of situation of consciousness? Well, that describes that eventually the jiva, there's no time. But they say at some point, the jiva in that situation will not be satisfied. You know, I was thinking yesterday, I was in bed, early morning, and I was wrapped up in one of my clothes, so kind of didn't want to get out. It was a little chilly. But you know, how long can you stay in that situation? That's not even one lesson. It's a feeling of relief. Sometimes when you're cold, something relieves you. Discomfort. It's a relief. Certainly being in this world of saguna is not so it's temporary, it's Janananda, so on and off, sukha and dukkha. It's ignorant. Everyone's in ignorance, everyone's fearful. It's not compatible to the eternal soul, that's for sure. And Krishna's manifestation of time is causing all of this. It's not just inner matter not doing anything at all. It's being influenced by time. Things are moving and it seems to be changing all the time, forever changing. All things must pass, as George Harrison that song. All things must pass. It's true in this world, all things must pass. The energy, which is, you could say, maybe something same understanding, but the energy which is actually there is eternal. It's just transformed. It looks at, even though scientists say that material energy is just transforming. The energy remains, even though the item is burned or broken or whatever, the energy remains. It's just transformed, or it merges back into its elementary form. So on. So, but it's still there. So Brahman is eternal, it's never destroyed. In the material world, it's just a reflection changes all the time. And the pure spirit soul is witnessing this ever-changing aspect. Under the influence of the three modes of nature and time, it's like a kaleidoscope or something you see, and everything changes. Colors shake up and you get different shapes and sizes and different colors. So material is a bit like that. And the soul is identifying with its elements, material world, senses, body, and the objects of the senses, mind, and intellect, and it's controlled by time. So we're like a prisoner within this energy, within this material energy. But we're completely identified. If you're born in a prison, you know nothing else. Everything's focused on what you, so to speak, you've been used to, familiar with. No memory beyond it. The living entity is like that, completely identifying with it. It's fearful that you're going to lose your identity or lose that which you identify with. It's always afraid of losing things. As time takes it away, time and tide away from that. As certain as death. So everyone's afraid of, basically speaking, fearful of the loss, material loss. But the real fear of the devotee is different. As we hear the devotees also, Prabhupada also expressed fear He writes in the Bhagavat somewhere, I think, somewhere. I'm afraid that the demons will somehow or another adopt this Hare Krishna. He has no fear. It's a transcendental fear in one sense. Mother Soda is always afraid that demons will come. We've been hearing about how the Damodar pastime, so the Jamarjuna trees held by Krishna, right? Krishna. They're always afraid of that aspect. And Prahlad Maharaj also, in a sense, fear. But what was the fear? Fear wasn't communication. Fear was identifying with this material world, thinking I can enjoy this material, that I am this material body, that this world is. This is the fear. And we see in the past times of day, like in council is basically, in many ways, we represent gross sense gratification, sense a bit like fear personified stuff. And to Mother Devaki, he was like that. She was, in a sense, her fear that cancer represented her fear of becoming absorbed in material. But because of that fear, material world, or fear of sense gratification, she was, Krishna appeared. Not the main reason, it's one aspect of that. It destroys all the inclinations for trying to enjoy this material world. So the 6 sons represented the 6 enemies of the living entity, that's greed, anger, envy, madness, illusion. And they were killed by conflict. They're actually, in a sense, it's all allegorical as well as realistic. Mother Devaki was afraid of conflict this way. She was Balaram, appeared in her womb and cleansed everything up, prepared the way for Krishna. But because of her fear of conflict, she was attracted to material sense gratification. Most people are, even as aspiring devotees, we have an element of attraction towards conflict. Thus, we still find lust, greed, anger, envy, and so on. And still sometimes influencing us. And our remembrance of Krishna is not constant, very constant. When our memory of Krishna is constant, when we're no longer attracted to the material elements, to this object of sense gratification, but see them connected to Krishna, see them as objects of Krishna's pleasure, then although time appears to be creating and destroying various forms of this world, the devotee is not affected. That doesn't mean we don't care. The devotee tries because he sees that time is not a form of Krishna. And the material energy is Krishna, a manifestation of Krishna, senseless, universal form. And it should be engaged in Krishna service. And when engaged in Krishna service, it's considered also have that element of spirituality. It's like the road, it's different there. It's Gokul Vrindavan, where everything there is, say, consciousness mentioned, but still the principle is there because it was connected in the service of Krishna, where it was conscious. And sometimes you get that sentiment, Now everything, just like Maria Soda, she was very concerned that the pots of milk were boiling over, so she went there to attend those pots. Say that's pretty far out. She put Krishna down. But everything was for Krishna. Milk was for Krishna, the pots were for Krishna. Everything was for Krishna. She was just thinking that was an emergency. She had to attend to it immediately. So, but everything she saw was Krishna, for Krishna. Everything, whatever it was. It's meant for Krishna's pleasure. It's the mind of the devotee. He doesn't see anything separate from Krishna's pleasure. So in that way, everything appears, sometimes materially speaking, we also, it's totally selfish and sense gratification, self-centered. But even objects, we dead objects, we kind of give life to, a child gives life to his teddy bear or his dolly, talks to them, dresses them, thinks that they're real. You can't let go. The best friend, for many a little boy, the best friend is his teddy bear. Maybe the girls, it's his dolly. I don't know, but I know for boys, it's often the best friend is a teddy bear. Even keep the teddy bear their whole life sometimes. It's dead matter. It's just transformation of Brahman, no doubt. It's dead matter. It's going to last forever. It's just enough. But the sentiment is there because that's the spiritual sentiment. It's just putting ourselves in the center. We're just identifying with reflections, reality. That's so when we see the reality, the reflection in relation with Krishna, take on different dynamic. The devotee doesn't want to waste anything. It's not because he's miser, because we want to enjoy it ourselves. It's because it's Krishna's energy. Whether it's food or money or clothes, or wants to look after everything. Car, the house. We have this consciousness. This is Krishna's car. It's Krishna's house. It's Krishna's everything. This is, so we're not saying Krishna is an ugly person like I appear to be in this form. He's not an ugly person, but this is Krishna's energy. This body belongs to Krishna, not me. You should be bringing pleasure to Krishna. It's Krishna conscious. This is the transformative process. We have transformers which transform the energy, the oneness of electricity into various effects. Be those effects heater, the same electricity can be transformed to create cold, or it can create heat. Same electricity, same instrument even can be used to transform it into cold or heat. It's by having the knowledge of how to transform. The devotional service is the transformative process, transformer, to transform the consciousness from the reflection to reality, illusion to reality. And that's the process of devotional service, by engaging everything in the service of Krishna, offering everything to Krishna. That's the process. You have to know how to do that, not just a whimsical thing. At the beginning, that may be the case. In the big picture, you have to learn how to utilize it properly. Honey. Not so difficult, really. You've got to eat anyway, more or less. Maybe there's some individuals who don't need to eat, but they're very rare. Pretty much every conditioned soul has to eat. Eating is one of the primary activities we see in the spiritual realm. In Bhagavat and how eating is such a significant feature, interaction, pleasure, which Krishna experiences, the pleasure that the devotees experience in feeding Krishna. It's greatly pleasurable, highly pleasurable. Go on and on with that. But food, you have to eat. What's the difficulty? Just because we don't offer things, we can't say we have to know what to offer, how to offer. But we offer what we do to Krishna. Everything as Krishna said, Krishna. Everything should be done as an offering unto me. This way you'll become free from miseries, existence of bondage. The miseries of the material existence are not just the pain and the suffering you get from it. The real misery of this material world is the fact that we think we can enjoy in this material. That's what has to change. Not that we're just praying that we don't suffer. We're praying that we become free of material attachment, become attached to Krishna. not just freeing ourselves from, whatever sufferings we go through. It's the cause, the root. Process of devotional service is the root, not just the branches. But when you cut down the weeds in the garden, you go to the wall, they grow again, because the root is still around. You've got to get the root. And the root of misery is there, again, for us, a Christian in one sense. But you can take that further. It becomes their attachment, desire to enjoy separately from Krishna. This is the danger. This is the illusion. This is to be changed. So using the same elements, to say you remove the thorn with, using those same elements, the mind, the intelligence, even time, as Krishna used time, and all the various manifested forms, and the senses which interact with those forms, the mind which collects the data, and so on and so forth, the intellect which is supposed to sit through it, according to our desire, or nature of our false ego. All this is going on. And when that's turned towards Krishna, direct, channeled, dovetailed towards Krishna, then that transformation of consciousness starts to take place. And when Tamasi Mamjoti Gamahavan comes out of the darkness into the light, it's a very simple and joyful process. You have to eat, you can walk, you can work, you can raise a family, you can which you do already. It's just a matter of the purpose behind it, goal behind it, the attitude. You do it for Krishna, you still eat, and you still enjoy it. It's I don't know how many preparations they prepared, how many how many preparations they prepared. Hundreds and hundreds. Oh, we was full of Krishna, the Trigiri branch. Full of Krishna, hundreds of preparations. Oh, prepared with. You don't need to do that. You're not going to even eat. You're doing it for the pleasure of being pleasure of Krishna. And that way Krishna is pleased. And when Krishna is pleased, he reciprocates. He reciprocates that love. It's such a wonderful way and so joyful. Those are so joyful, making all those preparations like today or like preparations. It's so joyful. Okay, there's a little bit of anxiety there. Where's the gases run out? Where's the ghee? Where's the turmeric? What happened to that preparation I prepared? You're running around in anxiety. Why? Because it's for Krishna. Anxiety for Krishna is also pure. So there's an anxiety too for Krishna. I don't think there's no anxiety on a spiritual platform. It's all for Krishna. We've been trained to do everything for Krishna. For Krishna all the time. We don't waste time. It's one of the symptoms of strength. Don't waste time. Utilize every moment of Krishna's service. We don't know if we'll have another moment in this body. We have a chance now. Material energy. We all know having a little taste of Krishna consciousness when there would be, a little bit of, say, Maya. You feel it's terrible. You think you're going to enjoy it, and instead it's not really enjoyment because you realize there's something more than material. You can't enjoy it. People who have no experience of this, they don't know. They have no idea what the taste of devotion is. No idea. The only idea is material satisfaction. And they're never satisfied. Always trying for more. They get what they think they want, and they're still not satisfied. They have to get something else. They're never satisfied. Whether it's in the political world, economic world, objective world, sport world, emotional world, relationship world, they're never satisfied because We're a fish out of water. A fish out of water can possibly be satisfied. No matter what you give the fish, you can give the fish a nice car, a nice house, a nice wife, a nice fishy wife, a nice fishy kid, a nice food to eat. But it's never going to be fully satisfied. The idea is there. This will make me happy. This will make me. We will be happy if this get one more. It never works. Get one more, we want another more. Every rich person will tell you that there's no end. There's no satiation to it. Wanting more and more and more. We're in an illusion. We're in a dream. Dreams never end. They just keep going on and on, one after the next. The reality is when we realize that this material world is Krishna's energy. No doubt, this is inferior energy. When you engage that inferior energy with body, mind, in Krishna's service, then it's considered to be taken, although it may say, in a simplistic way, we may leave it behind. Once we're in this body, it becomes very fast. No longer a cause of reaction. It's no longer a cause. Karma means that which creates future materials in this universe, any universe. But it creates future material bodies, whatever they may be. So when we engage this body, when people are engaged by it, we say body, we mean subtle growth. When we engage this subtle growth body in Christian service, that means there is no more cause for another material. To become free of the elements of this world by engaging them in Krishna service in the proper way. Not according to an additional way, but according to the proper way of utilizing the contributions in service of Krishna. And one becomes free of bondage. Not just free as the Mayavadi process is generally speaking just one of detachment. The materialistic process is one of attachment. The Karma Kandya process is mostly based on attachments. Very slow process of becoming liberated. Very slow. Mayavadi one is detachment, which is extremely difficult for Christian Bhagavat. Very troublesome path for one who is embodied. Very difficult. For a devotee, however, Krishna says, he is the swift deliverer in this ocean of birth and death. He delivers the devotee. Because we're taking shelter. And somebody takes shelter, you feel obligated to give them shelter. It's a submitting themselves to you for protection or for help. So it's natural that one will feel obligated. Krishna is most natural, most personal. He's the original person. Most personal. So he reciprocates accordingly. Accordingly, so whatever happens to the body, he sees that as Krishna. Ten components, it's a mixman, but he sees Krishna, he see it as some other element. He sees Krishna's work, hand working there. Even in suffering, he sees Krishna's got a reason for this, putting me in this situation. I'm not on the level of the man, so I experience pain and suffering. But I have dependence on Krishna. He knows what's best. This is how I'm to become free from my idea of trying to enjoy this material world. To become free from my false ego of thinking I'm a doer, thinking I'm important, whatever it may be, or being offensive towards others, thinking I can enjoy separately from Krishna. Whatever it may be, Krishna's working to try to free us from that which is an obstacle or an illusion in a relationship. So misunderstanding. Everything happens to the devotee has that element to it. If we see it with Krishna hand working, and we can progress in spiritual life instead of blaming others. I read the day and he said, you're only a failure when you start to blame others, even if everything you do doesn't work. As soon as you start blaming others, that's when you fail. Karmic state. Interesting perspective. Interesting perspective. Who have we got to blame besides ourselves? Come on, let's be honest. Who have we got to blame? Reality is we don't. The illusion is we think we do. It's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. Because, you know, the whole universe evolves like this, karma. Action and reaction. The whole universe is like that. Wherever there are rules and laws, they're only to try to get out of this illusion. It's not just to bend it. So you can continue in this illusion. Is to help us to get out of it. We change the laws. Unfortunately, we change the religions in order to facilitate our staying in this material, keeping Krishna out of the picture. That's the nature of Kali Yuga particularly, but it's the nature of the material world in general. And we're here, we're not here because we love Krishna. Material world, we're here because we want to love ourselves. Temporarily. So that transformation takes place. We have to connect with the transformer, pure devotees of the Lord, who come here to help us to transform. So we have to connect with them, follow their path, follow their guidelines, make progress. Change can take place. It might take a little bit of time to heat up a room. But as long as the heating's on, it will heat up. To clean a dirty body of water, it may take time. The process is there. Clean it. But our consciousness also could be cleansed by utilizing our time fully in service of Krishna as much as we can. Chanting, hearing, remembering the song. Utilizing all these material elements, particularly in Krishna's service. Prabhupada says the best way to control the mind, the reading of the day, is always to think how to spread Krishna consciousness far and near. How to spread it. Not just how to practice it. The best way, he said, to conquer the mind is to think how I can assist, or how can be a part, or how we can spread this Krishna consciousness. Maybe save time and circumstance. But that's what Prabhupada reads. It's a very good meditation. Keep ourselves busy. Mother Yasoda is always thinking how she can, protect Krishna, how she can prepare nice things for Krishna, how she can pleasure for Krishna, and so on and so forth. Krishna is also thinking the same. How to bring pleasure to my devotees is loving reciprocation. So that devotee things like that, how to make Krishna's will, be spread to every town and every village of the world. So the devotee is thinking how to play a part in that. We're not God, we're not Bhagavat, not on the platform of a man, but at least we can help some. Prabhupada said you're on the platform of a man in one sense, in a liberated state, with being fully engaged in devotional service. You just have to realize it. So if you stay on that platform, even though the realization is complete, nonetheless, one is considered to be in a liberated condition, acting on the platform, following the footsteps of those who are. It's like if you jump on a train, you're not in the driver's seat, you're not in the cabin of the engine, you're in the passenger seat. You're going to get where the train goes, usually. You're going to reach the end. So we're part of the train. We're on that transcendental caravan or American Valley. Stay there, don't get off. When I was a kid, we were on a boat. Sometimes we go on these boats to islands off the English coast, holidays. When I was a little kid, I was getting sick on the boat, seasick. And I'd be screaming, let me off the boat, let me off the boat. So the boat was causing my sickness. But we all know it wasn't a boat. The boat was actually saving us from death. But you think when you're in the boat, you don't know what's going on as a child. You think the boat is a terrible thing. I hate boats. I don't hate it, but at that point I did. That one, my mother wouldn't let me get off, and I'm punching her and screaming, "Let me go!" She wouldn't let me get out. Probably wouldn't have done it. I'd seen what the choice was in the cabin. So people are stuck in the cabin of the school. They don't know. They're scared. It's so rocky. The idea of getting out when they come sometimes they don't know how to do it. They don't realize that their idea of getting out, drugs or suicide or some other kind of intoxication, it's not the solution at all. Neither going to heaven. None of these things are the solution. Even Brahman realization is freedom. Freedom from modes of nature, freedom from birth and death, freedom from karma, freedom from relationships, but it's also freedom free of rasa. There is no rasa there. There's no relationship, which is the constitution, nature, the spirit, the living entity, is to experience rasa with Krishna. Totally absent. Totally absent. It's not even a trace of it. It's just you can say, an inherent potentiality within the conscious living entity, not manifest in any way. Situations only as and when, of course, there's different levels of looking at the actual Brahma-yogi, whereas just if the living entity itself feels, the living entity is a conscious entity, feels something lacking, then material world, there you go. And then the chance comes to awaken relationship, awaken relationship. So the material world is a chance. Particularly at this point, which you're trying to sabotage, is specifically for that purpose, to give everyone a chance of transformation, which is otherwise extremely difficult, not just transforming to realize their Brahman nature, not even to realize their chit nature or a relationship with the Lord, but to awaken the Ananda, the blissful relationship with Krishna. Chaitanya makes one and all, the highest form of loving relationship at the same time. Transform our consciousness, particularly through sound vibration, through chanting of the names. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya said, Kirtaniya Sadhari. We should always chant the name, keep those things. What does that mean? That means whenever we have a spare moment, we chant. It's not like, you just chant 16 rounds, finish. I don't know if we do it that or not, if you are. No, it's not the finish, it's the beginning. Beginning, minimum, starting point, 16 rounds, initiation. But we should try to always be engaged in devotion service or see whatever activity we're doing in relation to Krishna's solutions. Whether you're looking after kids in the nursery or whether you're teaching in school or whether you're studying in school, whether you're working in an office, whether you're driving a car, home, housework, whatever, in the garden, whatever you're doing, we see everything in Krishna's energy, we see everything in relation to him, we see the body which we have as also a result. See every past karma, and so on and so forth, which is the magic shape of the teachings, introduction and Krishna direction also. We see everything in relation to Krishna as the person's behaving in such a way. They could be also under the influence of Krishna's energy, Krishna's in his heart, guiding and desire, its karma. Everything is under Krishna's direction. And the devotee tries to see everything in relationship to Krishna, and as much as possible in our daily lives, wherever and whenever we chant Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. This way, Krishna will release you, release us from the bondage of the freedom of nature. We will no longer be disturbed by time. We still think time belongs to me. I've got no time now. I'm busy. Time is Krishna. Time is for Krishna's pleasures. We utilize our time. It doesn't make any difference. Young, old, dead, or alive. Whatever it is, we just carry on for eternity, utilizing just constantly mentality and how to service to Krishna. question of age. You can maybe not do the same thing when you're older, physically. But it doesn't matter. It's not a question of what you do, consciousness in which we do it. But developing this consciousness of Krishna is the International Society. Keep busy. No, do what you want. No, it's not. Work day and night. May be helpful. That's not what it's for. It's the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. You become conscious of Krishna. We're all conscious of our bag of bones and blood to some degree, or somebody else's bag of bones and blood, or crazy minds to some degree, or the flickering world around us to some degree. But we are meant to become conscious of Krishna. We may not be on that level of relationship with Krishna that we dancing, running in the forest, playing games. No, but we can see his presence in this reflective world. It's a reflection of the spiritual world anyway. So we see his presence as much as we can by utilizing it in the service. According to Guru Shastra Sadhu, daily worship, Sankirtan, food and everything else of Krishna, reading about, hearing about Krishna, and giving the fruits of our work, like Krishna, and everything we try to see. Even difficulty seeing Krishna in distress, when Krishna's hand is working there. We sing the sphere of Krishna's hand is working. You could say his expansive hand for Vishwadakshaya, Vishnu, is nonetheless ultimately Krishna's hand. Everything comes from Krishna. From Krishna. His manifestation of false egos, media, Shiva. Ultimately, he comes from Krishna. Everything comes from Krishna. Nothing is separate from Krishna. It only appears to be so. It's that appearing, that mentality of seeing things separate from Krishna, which is the danger. And we start in the world of duality, we start having friends and enemies. Duplicity is coming in, very common thing, very easy, especially even in our own institutions, very easy. Duality, this division. We're not seeing Krishna, seeing nonsense. And being the controlling force. It's not. And the only reason for legislation, rules, and regulations is ultimately not all to see Krishna's hand. After all, it's supposed to be this body of mind. It's supposed to be eternal service of Krishna. Shri Bhagavat Gita, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I don't know much about the scientific aspect of this verse. Some scientific devotees go into a detailed explanation of all the interactions of both the nature of the various elements and what transforms into another, and how the yoga process. And eventually you end up in an undifferentiated, non-dualistic level of man. Congratulations. But the simple process, even if you don't know that science, engaging all these elements in Krishna service, you can achieve the highest level of realization, including, as an example, apple falls in the tree, everyone's arguing how or called it a fall, where he picks it up, Krishna, see everything, see everything as Krishna, Krishna's energy. He's the source of it. So we try to bring everything back to the source. Any commentaries? Where's Janananda? Is there any more drink?
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
The weather doesn't change. nobody else would wait because I got up early thinking it was an hour different. But when nobody else was around, it took a while before I was slow enough just eating. Yes.
The hot topic in my WhatsApp groups is Israel versus Gaza war and all these things. How do we as devotees look at it, approach it?
How would devotees look at what?
Israel Gaza war.
How do they look at it? I guess if you go on the news, you'll see what's going on. I don't go on the news, so I don't know what's going on. I don't go on the news. I don't actually know what's going on. I know it started last year. I was looking at it when it started. Since November last year. So I don't really know what's going on. But what we do know is that this material world is Dukkhalayam Shashvatam. The wars will always be there, whether it's this one or that one. There's this unavoidable consequence, this quarrels, whatever that they take on, are unavoidable consequences. They're all a result of ignorance. They're all a result of forgetting Krishna. They're all a result of karma. They're all a result of their selfishness. Number one, what people say. Materially speaking, that's the cause. There may be some exceptions in self, that's directly. But all these indirect words. And you see arguments between people, between religions, between individuals, between countries, between parties, sports teams, are all due to gross ignorance. They're due to illusion, due to foolishness of this world. So it's not a question. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's all wrong. So what does a devotee do? The devotee is supposed to be compassionate. We're not cowards either. So what does a devotee do? Do we sit around arguing with each other? Is that going to help anyone? Probably not. Are we going to sit around trying to justify it from a social, economic, religious point of view, humanitarian point of view? People would do that, so be it. Not against them. But at the same time, you can have another war. That one will stop and another one will start. Because it's like taking, you've got a boil here, you get rid of that one, but it comes out. You haven't solved the problem. It's like finding a way of solving it. There's no solution. I haven't solved it 1/1000000000%. Problem is still there. The root is in the ground. It will just pop up somewhere immediately. Maybe it was this can be the aging world. And we're not going to stop it. Political maneuver, economic maneuver, just pacification, philanthropic work, all may go on, so be it. But it doesn't solve the problem. The problem lies within. The problem is we're seeing things separately from Krishna. The problem we're seeing things separately from Krishna. Realize it's another form of illusion. Children fight with each other. What we fight over there, they think it's my land. They think it's my religion. They think it's my land. They think it's my right. They think it's mine. This is the illusion that the war. That's not the manifestation of the get to the root. Just we move along the surface of the mind. So the body is compassion, she tries everything you can. Do the needful, and not where you're going. You're ultimately try to help those people to realize actually this is all, it's all about the essence of who we actually are. As long as we identify ourselves with this body, I think this good is ours. There is no end to all of it. What to speak of the things in terms of force, in terms of meat eating. Did you know that 8 billion fishes are killed every day for your belly? Simply for the belly of the billion fishes. That's what they say. As well as hundreds and thousands, millions of animals slaughtered without their choice every day without death. The lies that are going on, the intoxication is going on, the cheating is going on. It's surprising. Suffering is disease, death itself. Why is it death anyway? Die of this or die of that. It's all because of this illusion and creation. No other solution of the idea that everyone comes out of this. My own philosophy. Second, sinful. The big intoxication, smoke, cheating. So, solution is prayer. We do pray. We do try to spread the message of devotion. We try to cultivate ourselves, knowing that when there's real practice of Krishna has and a beneficial effect, even without knowledge. About the place of last time, Janananda saying his dog, he went, if only my disciples could become given certainly by their desire alone, all the living entities. Pure length, greed, weakness, anger, greed, lust, envy, delusion, and madness. As long as we're thinking, I am immature, no way out of Indra, Abraham, we don't speak. It's always this tendency, fighting. If we're attached, that which is not past, go Maya. As long as we're in Maya, the real rest is try and hope. Remember, transcendental. Everyone is Krishna's. Everybody is entity, having a love relationship with Krishna. They will be identified themselves. Being loving all, painful. For another devotee means a devotee only one stuff, one stuff, that is the suffering of others. So when they see situations like the war in Israel, war in Ukraine, or somewhere else, what kind of terrible thing going on somewhere else, you know, and when she heard terrible thing going on there, maybe it is, but I heard 300,000 people died yesterday. Did you know that? Humans. 300,000 died yesterday. It wasn't in the war. It died natural causes or old age or whatever. Every day, 300,000 are dying. Pretty serious business. And I also read that 150,000 people were murdered in the womb yesterday. I'm just giving you statistics. 150,000 human embryos, babies, were murdered in the womb yesterday, and today, and tomorrow, and the day after, every day, or less, or more or less, as well as billions slaughtered, so-called civilized society. It's a kind of surprising. And then when the earthquake in New Zealand, I was just a week after the big earthquake. It was there. And I was just doing books in one town nearby Christ Church. Ladies, so what is it about the earthquake? They got off lightly, got off like dancing as it go on around. But from a logical point of view, karmic point of view, so what have we not done to deserve this? What have we not done? When we start to take responsibility, blaming the politician, blaming the family, blaming God, blaming every damn thing except for ourselves. That means we're always going to be in this lively battlefield. Not this, and that's not a very material, satisfying answer for the neutrality. But fortunately, you lived in this world long enough to see it never stops. It's not here, it's there. You spend your whole life like this, find out why this world. Do something. If you want to do the material thing, go first. Doesn't stop anything. Roots still in the ground, the disease is still there. Solution. Thinking I am this body, this is mine, this is God. Don't know if that satisfies anyone. Work with criminals. Criminals are not very easily. We're not very easily change, for instance. It's hard for them to just my idea is like I said a second ago. For God, he said, for God. For God. The English were praying, the Germans were praying. Please God, may you win. The English were praying, please God, may we win. God said, for God. What can he do? They're both demons. One said demoniac. What can you do in this situation? I don't know. Hare Krishna. You want to make everyone right. Wake up. Hare Krishna. So, I've never been at those things like this. I'm not with that life. I see the whole God. Their own name justification. And they're all lacking spiritual truth. Real claim. Is that what came out of Nati Prabhu? No. Okay. I'll be battling out in central existence. We wish them all the best. We pray that the Lord Maharaj was that beautiful prayer. Fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavat now. What was it? Ninth chapter. That's number 10. Then we got some news of but my computer here. No. My can't remember it. Swasthya Vishvasu. It's the verse after Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaste. Here it is. Thank you. What is it? 18. Swasthya Kalapasita Yayantu Bhutani Shivam Dodiya Manastabhadram Bhattara Roshade Lord Maharaj prays, may there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become now by practicing bhakti yoga, but by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. The following verse describes the Vaishnava. Vanchaka Patrudyascha, Kripa Sindhuvyeva Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. It's like a desire tree of Vaishnava can fulfill all the desires of anyone who takes shelter of lotus feet. Lord Maharaj is a typical Vaishnava. He prays not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons like his father in passing. Lord Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for him to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of the Vaishnava, who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavat Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free of envy, karma, sarvam, satam. Therefore, Lord Maharaj prays in this verse, may all the envious persons be pacified. Material world is full of envious persons. But if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal of social deeds and can think of others' welfare. That's what the previous verse was praying to lead, who cleanse his whole heart. One artist, is clear about my heart becomes pure. In that pure heart, really feel compassion. Otherwise, it's a relative compassion for and against. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Krishnadev, who sit in our hearts. We should pray. Let the Krishnadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. That's my peace to the entire world. We want peace. Prophet wanted peace. We get peace formula, which was devotion service. Srila Vishnu Shakbhati Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one always requests some benediction. Even pure Ishtama devotees pray for some benediction, as instructed. As instructed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his 6th Shastra. O son of Rajananda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, that someone other the ocean of death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me in the earth. In another prayer, Lord Chaitanya says, Mama Jamani Jamani Shri. Life after life, kindly let me know unworldly love ocean, so to speak. And Prahlad Maharaj chants, Oh, Bhagavate Narshi, pray for benediction from the Lord. He is also an exalted Vaishnava. He wants nothing from this person's death. The first desire expressed in his prayers, thus let there be good fortune throughout the entire universe. Prahlad Maharaj thus requested the Lord to bring mercy. including his father, the most envious person. According to China, found that there are two kinds of envious to be envious. One is a snake who lost what to pray for relatives. You're pretty good there. I don't usually last that long on a mobile. The other is a man like Hiranyakashipu, who is by nature rather, envious of everyone, even of his father or son. Hiranyakashipu was envious of his little son. Lord Maharaj asked the benediction, benefit of his father. Hiranyakashipu was very envious of devotees. Lord wished his father would give up their envious nature with the grace of the Lord and stop harassing the devotees. Difficulty is that the envious living entity is rarely pacified. One kind of Katha is named pacified by action of a particular herb. An envious person, however, cannot be pacified by any means. Therefore, Lord Maharaj prays that all envious persons may undergo a change of heart and think of the welfare. The Krishna conscious movement spreads all over the world. And when the place of Krishna amongst them, thinking of envious people will change. Everyone will think of the welfare of others. One prays Shiva, to the eye, until I give it envious. The Krishna conscious, no one is envious of anyone. Everyone thinks of the welfare of others. Something we should all do. In Krishna conscious, no one is envious of anyone else. Everyone thinks of the welfare of others. Therefore, Lord prays that everyone's mind may become gentle by being fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna, as indicated in Bhagavat, to the light of Krishna. And as implied by Lord Krishna, one to constantly think of the lotus feet of Krishna, then one's mind will certainly be cleansed. Purists always think of cleansed by the Krishna. The Lord Maharaj prays that God's mercy will change their mind towards Krishna, the mercy stronger, and they will stop thinking of self-better. He prays that the Lord's mercy will change their minds, and they will stop thinking of sense gratification. As long as we think sense gratification, there will be war, whatever form it takes, unavoidable obstacles. Meant to teach us a lesson, learn our lessons. If they think of Krishna always, everything will go right. Some people argue that everyone thought of Krishna in that way, the whole universe, because everyone would go back home, back to God. And one time, God answered that. One man said, well, if you ever become a Hare Krishna, what will happen? There'll be no left. God said, yes, you have understood Hare Krishna. Deliver everyone in the universe. No more suffering, no more birth, no more war, no more envy, no more fear. But anyway, God says here, however, Sri Krishna Chakravarti Thakur states that this is impossible because the living entities are immovable. If one set of living entities is actually delivered by Krishna consciousness, don't worry, another step will fill the entire universe of people. They're queuing up, waiting to take birth. Shubhava ki jaya, ventilation Bhagavat ki jaya, Lord pray. Boys on the Zoom, I see Radha Krishna.
Zoomed off. It all zoomed off. You're going to resume the Zoom. And resume the Zoom.
Are there any questions on the Zoom, please? Anybody would like to ask any question?
Radha, any questions?
No. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for a wonderful class.
Hey, you were here.
Hare Krishna.
Well, I thought you were in the room just now. You were in the room, now you're on Zoom. You're not in the
Yes,
room,
Maharaj.
it's Zoom.
I had to go to give the flowers to Gita Nagari team. So I had to come home. Thank you.
A few other devotees on the Zoom. Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to ask any question?
Chaitan, Jagadish Singha, Balaram Das, Atul Patel, Satyabhama, Devi Dasi, Krishna Namananda, co-host, ISKCON CNG host, Simeshwar is on Zoom. You were here. You really are advanced, you've expanded now.
Hare
You're on
Krishna,
Zoom.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for wonderful class. Your association is 3
Where are you?
evening with Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Nice to see you. Do you have a question? You're a disciple of Janananda.
No question, Maharaj.
You are yes, no.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, she is.
Seem to be mindful, that's nice. You have a question? She's gone. Drove her away. I'm scared. He disappeared.
I think it's there. Seems like maybe.
She didn't say anything. It was just
That's it, Maharaj. I think no
Yeah.
no further questions from anyone.
Okay.
You can conclude.
we all have this question. How can we become like Maharaj? Wish you well, we're all living in. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Yeah.
It's only Janananda Goswami Maharaj. Jai. See you in the evening, Maharaj, at temple. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Haribo.
This apparently is Srila Prabhupada Mahaprasad. Ready? Ready? How many times do you want it? No, you can't.